Hey, I'm back with Tarver's Take, the recap of David Benavidez versus Demetrius Andre, and the undercard to co-feature um, Jamal Charlo versus Jose Benavidez Jr. Man, what a fantastic way to end! Like I said, Showtime long run, historical run in boxing with one of the best years they've had in 2023. I think when you look at the fights that they have been able to give us, uh, Showtime Boxing and PBC, and then to finish it off with a doubleheader with the action that Saturday night had was amazing. Needless to say, there wasn't any surprises with the outcome as far as I was concerned. You know, Jamal Charlo, Big Charlo showed that he's once again back and still in championship form. He had a very challenging, pesty, Jose Benavidez Jr. in there trying to give him all that he could handle. He had the right attitude. He brought the right spirit, but all in all, he was just too small. Didn't have the power to really, get Charlo's attention. But nonetheless, it was a very competitive fight, which, after a 2.5 year layoff, Big Charlo definitely needed some good rounds. And I think this fight gave him that. Went 10 rounds. I thought the referee got in the way of what could have potentially have been a stoppage, but he went and got the good work in, the good rounds. And I think if he, take 1 week, or so off, no more than two, get right back in there, man, so that he can, you know, pile on to this training camp, already add on to what he got. And I think he's looking at the big fight, you know, um, with the likes of Canelo. There is long-standing champion, welterweight and junior middleweight champion, Israeli Lara, that has a belt in the 160-pound division. But I think when you look at the future for Charlo, I think that the future might be moving up if we want to ever see Canelo. And then, David Benavidez is only one weight class up. So, that would be an interesting fight, if he can't get Charlo. But my personal pick will be for him to avenge the slap, get revenge and even the score with Caleb Plant. I think that will be an interesting fight, and it really puts Caleb Plant back in championship picture. And the winner of that fight, maybe he can earn a rematch with Canelo, or Charlo goes on and fight Canelo to see who is uh, pound for pound one of the best in the world if Canelo don't fight Benavidez next. And I think a lot of people want to see that fight. I know I certainly do, being a fan, and I think it could be one of Canelo's biggest fight when you look at the rivalry, the Mexican rivalry right there. And can you imagine that fight on Cinco de Mayo, man? Somewhere Vegas Stadium, probably. You know what I mean? I think that fight could probably hold that type of attendance, man. I think that's the fight to really see whoever it is in the 168-pound division. When you look at Benavidez just beating Andre, I mean, hey, you got to really truly take your hat off to him and then say, why won't Canelo fight him? I mean, the man has pretty much eliminated everyone in the 168-pound weight class and has been an interim titleist for a long, long time. And I think there's, unless Canelo want to go off the grid and do something different, he's always speaking of Bivol. I don't think that fight makes sense for him. But Benavidez, I think that is the showdown. When you look at how Benavidez went about his work with Andre, man, I think I thought that fight was much closer than than Benavidez made it look on paper. But when I saw Benavidez focus for the week of the fight, the way he came in, very uh, quiet, what I'm saying, very reserved for his standards. And that showed me that he was focused, more focused than he had ever been before, man. And so I kind of, was leaning toward Andre having an upset. But when I saw Benavidez's focus and how he prepared and took Andre very seriously, and you can see it on his face and just how he looked leading up to the fight. Man, he had one of the best camps of his career, and I think when you look at uh, a signature fight, this one is a signature fight. He fought the boogeyman where when no one else wanted to fight him, and stopped him, made it, it wasn't an easy fight, but because he was on the top of his game with his focus and everything came together, he had one of the most dominating performances. I don't think, he was supposed to really beat Demetrius Andre that convincingly. I thought, he had a chance. If anyone was going to get a knockout, it would be David. But the way he went about it, he filled him out the first couple rounds. Andre looked like he was really going to contest. He started coming out fast with combinations, but David Benavidez stood right down in the pocket, blocked, parried, and caught all of those shots basically on the gloves. And if Andre did get in some shots, they really wasn't effective. They didn't hurt him. You know what I mean? But when David started unleashing his offensive attack, man, you can see he was just chopping him down. Body shots, the clean shots, the clean power shots, and it was a dominating performance, man. And no, no, and I normally, not in, I don't condone that quitting on the stool or calling the fight off. You know what I'm saying? But I really got to give, Andre the pass on this one because of the way he fought. He didn't lay down, man. He got up even when he was knocked down. He fought. He exchanged with David. He was really trying, but even inside, even outside, nothing he could do to really slow down that locomotive once it got going, man. And I can only see a great fighter like Canelo, even really giving David the type of contest that I think he's looking for, that ultimate challenge. You know what I'm saying? And so that's what we have right now. And if Benavidez can't get Canelo, man, I think you have to be looking at you got to be looking at moving up the Bivol. He mentioned moving up to 175, man. And I can truly see, David Benavidez versus a Bivol or either Benavidez, a better Biev, man, at light heavyweight, because you can see, he fills out really good at that weight, man. And the way he made 168, and I don't think it'll hurt him moving up. So if he don't get Canelo, maybe we can see some of those fights. Bivol maybe a better Biev once they handle their business at light heavyweight. So, but again, a great show closing with Showtime Boxing. And PBC had an amazing 2023. And we can only look forward to what's to come in 2024 from PBC and where boxing goes next. So stay tuned to Tarvis Take, man. We're going to have you on all the news and all the big fights. And if you haven't gone on and subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do so, man. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. And tell a friend to tell a friend. You know what I mean? And so there you have it. You've been listening to Tarvis Take. Until the next time, stay tapped in, and I'll talk to you then.